I made go live.
Hey everyone, good evening. I hope you all are doing fine. So, I am here with Mitul Golakiya, who will be taking a session with us. Before that, let me give you a short brief about me, Mitul, everyone here who is helping us with this session. So, I am Jigadullah. I work for Endurance International Group. I have around 4+ years of experience in Laravel. So we are just organizing this meet. I hope that you guys enjoy this. Next is Mahesh Bhanushali. He is helping us here organizing this meet, and Manish Patel, who is from Cactus. Uh, he is also helping us with this. And finally, the speaker here is Mitul Gulakia. Hi Mitul, how are you?
Hi Jigar, I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I am good. Yeah. So, folks, he actually started working on Laravel from 2013 actually, when Laravel 4 was, I guess, in beta mode. So that's actually wonderful. Okay. And in 2015, he started his own company where he was the solo person. And now currently, InfyOm company is around 28 people. Correct, Mikul?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, good to hear. So today we will be taking a session on Laravel Infium generator. Let's see what he has, what we get to learn today. I am excited about this. I hope everyone is same excited as me. Yeah. So there you go, Miguel. You
Yeah,
can take control of this session and go ahead. Let me know if you have any doubts. And one more thing, sorry, Q&A sessions will be last 10-15 minutes, but please feel free to add comments if any. We will be putting into this screen as a banner, and we'll be discussing at the end of session. So feel free to add comments as and when you have questions. Yeah, there you go, Mitul.
thank
Bye
you
bye.
Jigar.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah, so good afternoon guys. As Jigar already said, I am Mitul Golakiya, CEO and founder at InfyOm Technologies. I started working with Laravel almost in 2013 when Laravel 4.2 was in beta. And since then, I never moved to any other PHP framework because of, the I don't know what to say, what kind of features and things that Laravel provide. Yeah, so we are a small team of around 28 people. This is where you can follow me on GitHub. And I generally work on lots of open source projects here. Almost you can see it in my profile. So yeah, let's get started. Today we are going to see how you can generate Laravel backend in minutes, so not in hours. So we all know, as a Laravel developer, we all work on lots of modules every day and in lots of projects as well. So while doing this, we need to generate lots of files and lots of other things that eats our time. So instead of really making or really working on real logic, we spend a lot of time on doing recurrent things as well. So how we can solve that? Let's see it today. So the first thing is, developers are lazy. Me too, right? So if we have something written nothing like in to-do list, then we still mark it as check, it is done. What I mean over here is, like, the lazy. We are not actually lazy, but the lazy in terms of we build things which can save our time and we can go home early, right? So we always try to create things, just like take this Laravel framework. Just imagine, without Laravel, how many hours were needed when you were previously working in in any other PHP framework, registrations or queries and lots of things we are writing. And after Laravel, so one developer called Taylor Otwell, he created Laravel, so which is saving almost all of our time, right? So that's how I mean developers are lazy. uh, so the question I had is like, and this is almost the question. So, what is the very first question that you ask when the client offers a new project, or even if you are working in a company? What do you generally ask when your manager or team leader or your boss give you the new project? So generally, what I ask is how many modules we need, or how many CRUDs we need, basically, right? That is what decide like how long it will take, if we got 10 modules, or if we got 100 modules, or if we got just 5 modules, right? And then based on that we create estimation. Like, we generally see how long each module will take, and how many APIs we need to develop if it is a project of developing a mobile backend, generally. So that is how basically we estimate the project. If we go a little bit more deep, then we do estimation like what files are needed. So generally, if you are working in Laravel, how you can estimate something? So say like if you want to create some CRUD, then you need to create 6 files minimum. Minimum at 6 files, like migration, model, controller, form request. Form request can be multiple. Blade files can be multiple, like index or table, create, edit, lots of things, right? And then you need to adjust routes file. So that is how, or that is what we need to create a single CRUD. If you talk about APIs, right? APIs are the same. Like, the only thing which is changed is Swagger docs. We need to provide documentation to the front end guys or mobile guys. So of course they can consume our APIs, right? So at the very minimum, you need to create these 6 files, right? Either we are creating CRUD or we are creating API. There will be a lot more. I'm just saying like 6 are the types of files, right? So how we calculate final estimation? I mean, like, how long does it take to generate all individual files? How long the migration will be? How many fields are there in each module? Then we need to specify fillables and cast. Otherwise, of course, mobile guys will come like, you are giving one as a string, I need as an integer, right? So fillables, cast, controllers with all required methods, whatever methods we are declaring, index, store, edit, that kind of. Then we need to specify validation rules as well, like which fields are required, which fields are not required. Then all views, create, update, list, delete, even more can be there, right? And then we need to add routes. That is how basically I estimate any Laravel projects. I hope you guys are doing the same, right? And then can be some additional things as well. So say like, what if you need to provide documentation, right? Because if it is, as I said, mobile project or front end project where front end is consuming our APIs, then we need to provide them Swagger docs, right? Again, what if you are following repository pattern? I know that like some of the like repository pattern word can be new, but yeah, that we will discuss later in the another section. But what if you are following repository pattern? You need 1 or 2 more files, right? And then again, if you are working on very large project, then you need to develop test case as well. So you don't break something accidentally. So you write test for your APIs, you write test for your repositories, and lots of other files, right? So that is what we do, right? Now if we can guess like how much time will be needed to create a single module for single module CRUD or API. Of course, like, if I'm going to do this all manually, I will say like at least I need kind of hour or 2 hour, including Swagger docs, unit test, make them running, testing them, all the things, right? So honestly, like 1 or 2 hours, if we are doing these all things manually, then it should be minimum. So if we take some module which has 5, 6, or 7 fields, then that will be the general time, and that is what I was doing too, right? Then I thought like, what if this can be automated or generated, right? So the question was, really I can automate this, right? And then that the idea came off, like from my own, which I call generator. So these are some of the popular generators which are available. I think Laracast is the oldest one that I was using at my time. Then Laravel Nova is there, of course. InfyOm Laravel generator that we are going to discuss today. Voyager is there, Lara admin is there, Quick admin panel is there, Backpack is there. Another lots of generators are there. Every one has some pros, some has some cons, right? So before going into Laravel generator, let's see the story how this generator was invented, or that came in my mind to create this as a package, right? So let's go through this. So in 2015 almost I started my career as a freelancer, and then I feel this pain of doing repetition of the thing, that I need to create these all files every time. So say like there is a module where the change is only I will say like the only change is one field or something like that, right? And then it was still like asking me that or what I need to do, like I need to go that copy and paste every file, and then manually change the fields, manually change the file names and stuff like that, even if the change is just one field. So I was doing these all things repeatedly every single day in every single project, right? Then the idea came up, like how I can automate it, or how I can generate these all files in one shot by giving some parameters or something like that. And that's how I created my first package called Mitul Golakiya / Laravel API generator. Actually, the InfyOm Laravel generator is the second version of generator. The first version was Laravel API generator, which was only creating APIs, right? And that is how it was created on 7th March. And then on less than like 2 months or something, we were featured on the GitHub trending repositories. So I took this screenshot, and I still remember that I created my first package in the Laravel, and that was in trending repository. So that is how this first idea came up of creating some package of Laravel, because nowadays I heard from lots of guys that how I can create some package, how I can get some idea, right? So now I think you should get some idea how you can create some package by your own. And then after creating this package, the 2015 was full year of people reported bugs, people started using it. Even lots of guys were submitting pull requests for minor changes, improvements, some new features and something like that. Lot of people also like requested new features. So it was a kind of a full crazy year where we were getting lots of requests, and then we figure out like we need a new one with more modular and more customizable, because this one was not able to this was my first package, and this package was not able to handle all the customizations that we need. So then we went for a new one. So I just ship a new version on the 14th Feb, which is kind of Valentine Day. And then we ship it with two other packages. So the full CRUD and templates thing was extracted out, and the core package was InfyOm Labs Laravel generator. In 2016, I also incorporated or registered my company called InfyOm, and at that time we planned, let's start something InfyOm Labs where we can create open source packages and contribute it to the community. So then it was created where Swagger generator was extracted out, CRUD templates were extracted out, and the Laravel generator was doing pure CRUD generation and code handling. So if you want to use some other theme rather than Bootstrap or Admin LT or Core UI that we provide right now, you can do that literally. You don't need to modify the code of the package. And then it was just released, and again in less than 2 months we were again in the GitHub trending repositories. So again we did it, and then after that on 2020, like the February, we hit 1.5 million downloads from all of our packages, and very soon we are also going to hit 2 million downloads. I think we are almost near to now. So this is basically the site where you will be able to find the documentation. And let's see, so we are close to 1.99 million. So very soon we are going to hit 2 million. But yeah, this was a kind of story that generated how it was evolved and how it was created and what was the actually purpose. So now let's go deep into what generator can do. So it can generate all the files for you at given path by reading the configuration file. So you can literally give configuration in which folder of your project you want to generate these files. So there is a configuration file available in config folder. with given input. Of course, it will ask you some input can be from multiple things. It can be from file, it can be from database, it can be from console that you are firing a command, with accepting some command line options, of course, that like you don't want to have some fields on the table, or you don't want to make some fields searchable, or you want to make some fields hidden, something like that, right? With the ability of high customization, as I said, if you want to have your own theme, not like the theme that generator provides. Generator basically provides two themes, which is adminality, which is very popular and lots of people are using, and the second is core UI, which is also one beautiful theme that you can use. So you can do that customization as well, with the reusability and rollback option. So say by accidentally you create some module and you want to roll back all the files or delete all the files, then just one command and it will delete all the files, so you don't need to go and manually do that, right? So this is what generator do right now. Right now, let's move ahead and let's talk about some major features. So it can generate APIs, CRUDs in minutes with all the files which is needed. It already supports all the latest versions, including Laravel 8.x. As I said, it supports two kind of templates. We call it templates, Admiralty and Core UI, and it is fully customizable. Like it doesn't, marry to any CSS framework. So that is what the main features are. Now let's go through the installation part. I can show you step by step the installation, but we will not be doing installation right now because it will take a lot of time, so we can cover other important things. But I can go through the steps that you can do, or any even fresher Laravel developer can do by themselves. So just like regularly when we install any package, we need to just add them into the composer.json. So you can do that. Right now I'm using, the screenshot includes version 6, but it is already supporting 6, 7 and 8, all three. So you need to include these three packages into the your composer.json. Then you need to run composer update. If you want to use core UI templates, then you can replace the third one called InfyOm Lab/core UI -templates, and after that you should be able to use it. So let's go through step by step what you can do from the real website. So this is the website where you can find the docs, labs.infyom.com/Laravel generator. You can hit docs, so it will redirect you to the documentation page. So these are the features that it provides if you want to read it in detail. And then I will go to the installation. From over here, from the top, you can select the version that you want to use. If you want to go for 6, you can go for 6. Then you need to use different branches. If you want to go for 8, then you can select 8. So you can do that. So you need to include these three packages into your composer.json. Then if you want to use core UI, as I said, you need to do core UI templates. This is one optional package of Doctrine. So if you are planning to generate a CRUD from your existing tables, right, the generator also provides that option, but for that you need to include this package and then run composer update as usual. Then you need to publish certain things for generator as usual for any Laravel packages we are doing. And then what generator do is, whenever you are generating APIs, it doesn't place. So there are some projects where you are going to generate CRUD as well and APIs as well. So say like I'm building a mobile app, right? Of course I need to have a CRUD on my backend where I am inserting data, and the mobile will be consuming it. So we will have two separate controllers. One will be managing the CRUD and another will be managing the APIs, right? So what generator do, or what best practice is that I follow, I keep those both controllers into separate folders. So my APIs controller will go into HTTP controllers and API folder, so not directly to the controllers folder. So that's how, or that's why we need to give a separate namespace into our route service provider. So yeah, you just need to add this or replace this existing line into your route service provider, And as I said, it is fully configuration. So if you want to customize paths and namespaces and something like that, then you can do this. Then you need to hit one other command once your configuration is done, php artisan InfyOm publish. So what it will do, it will publish all basic things that is needed. Like it will create folders which is required, it will publish the base repository if you are using repository pattern, it will create one base controller, very basic thing, right? So this is how the installation is there. And if you are planning to use it in a fresh project where the totally new fresh Laravel installation is there, then you can go for the second step as well. So this publish layout, what it will do, it will use the Laravel UI package just as it is, and then you can hit that command that Laravel UI provides, and then you can hit php artisan infyom dot publish colon layout. So what it will do, it will create all authentication files and authentication controllers into your folder. So it will create a um, login view, reset password, forgot password, registrations, even the full layout. We will see that in how it looks like. But it will get ready full layout for you, like sidebars and menus and headers and everything will be there. So that is something, if you are planning to use in a fresh Laravel project, then you can go for it. So here are the files that it will publish. It will publish home controllers and these all views that is needed for basic front-end scaffolding for authentication for any Laravel project, right? So that's it. This is one another option that you need to enable, but I think right now it is by default enable, so you don't need to go for that. So yeah, that's all about the installation part. Now let's move to the usage of a generator, right? So let's quickly go through that and then we will see the real demo. So let me get back again to the PPT. Yeah. So then it gives you the three commands. Either you can generate just APIs, then you need to use InfyOm colon API, or if you want to use just CRUD, yeah, sorry, if you want to just generate a CRUD, then you can use scaffold, and if you want to generate both, then you can use API underscore scaffold. So API underscore scaffold will generate your CRUD as well and your APIs as well. Let's move to next. So this is how it looks like. This is visual representation demo. So I just hit a command, php artisan infyom API scaffold post. It will tell me like specify your fields. So I'll do something like this, and then it will generate these files. So it will create a migration, it will create a model, it will create a repository, it will create API request, one for create, one for update. It will also create API controller. It will update your routes/api.php. It will also generate a menu item like say post or something like that, and then it will generate form request as well. So these are the files which will be created when you are running API plus scaffold. Then post controllers, view files, and routes. So these all files are generated automatically, almost like 15 to 20 files. So you literally don't need to do anything else. You just specify the fields and it will do it. Then your UI will look something like this. This is the UI which I have used is core UI. So it will generate something like this. So this post menu will be created, this table will be created, you will get this plus button by which you can create a new post. These are the fields, title and body, that you have specified. Then this is how the create post page will look like. So you can create a post. This is how the Swagger docs will look like. It will automatically generate a Swagger docs. So that's what it do. Now let's see the real demo. I place this picture by a reason. I hope we don't get this kind of errors like fail, because demo never go without any error. So let's get started. So I already did a Flash installation in the Laravel, and I already created one project, and I already did installation for that. Let me bring this window in. So the project is already there. This is a fresh new Laravel 8 project. What I did, I already installed all the packages which are needed. I'm using Laravel 8. So these 3 packages are installed. Then I publish my configuration file, so it is already published. So here you can do customization if you want to change your migration folder, or if you want to change your model directory, if you want to change a namespace. Then lots of options are there, and some advanced features that like generator provides, that is there, like you want to disable soft delete, schema files. So bunch of advanced features. So say like you don't want to generate text, then you can make this false simply, so it will not generate text cases for you, like so something like that. Even it supports data table. But yeah, of course we will not be able to cover uh, all the features in this demo, but you can go and check the talk and you should be able to find that. So lots of customizations are there. And whatever commands we have seen so far, like these all commands, I already did that. So this publish has been done, this route service provider has been. Can anyone tell me my screen and my fonts are properly visible, or I need to increase that? Is it properly
Yes,
visible?
yes, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, so almost these all steps I have already done. So let's see, like route service provider, so I have already updated that. So just to save time, I already did this all the stuff. So if you go to resources folder, so in views we have these all the files, right? Layouts are there, so everything is basically generated. And this is how it looks like. So if I go over here, this is a welcome page. When I click on login, I'm getting a login screen. I think I already have one user. So from here I can do registrations. If I go here and I do login, then I will get this kind of interface. Ready? Okay, maybe I wrongly typed the name. 1 second. Come on. Let's do a new registration. Okay, so now I'm registered, and this kind of predefined layout is already there. So all are working. So when you hit this command, php artisan InfyOm publish layout, then you will get this kind of interface already ready. Now let's create some CRUD and some API. So what I will do, I will go here and I will type php artisan, and I should be able to see all the available commands that I have. So these are the commands that it gives. So we will use InfyOm API underscore scaffold, but if you want to generate migrations models individually, then you can do that. As I said, there is a rollback command as well. So we'll go again. I will say PA as an alias of PHP artisan. Let me clear up the screen. Let me increase some font. Okay, so I will use PA as an alias InfyOm colon API underscore scaffold. And let's generate some CRUD for category, for example. So I want to generate CRUD for category. So I will hit an enter. So now it will say, or it will ask me for the fields. So what is saying, like specify the fields for the model, skip IDM timestamp spill, we will edit automatically. And for field inputs, it supports lots of field inputs that you can review in the documentation. Let me check over here. You can see field input guide. So it supports text area, email, date, number, password, select from existing table, even checkbox, radio, toggle switch. Let's use some basics as of now to keep it simple. So I will say name. So I need to give a name of the field. So I will say category name as a name. Database type. I will say let's use string and 100 characters of the string. Then I need to specify HTML type. So I will say let's keep it text. So it will text input, and I do not want to specify any options right now. So how you need to do is like, first you need to give the name of the field, then space, and then database type, which is string comma 10, which is fully compatible with Laravel migrations. We will see it in action whenever we are generating this file. So I specify string comma 100 and then HTML types. So I'm giving text. Then it is asking me for validation, so I can specify validations over here. So I will say required. If I want to do something like this max 100 or something like that, then it is also possible. Let's keep it simple. Required. The string that we are passing over here, that will be directly passed as a validation rule. So whatever validation rules Laravel is providing, you should be able to use that. So I'll say required. So one field is done. Now the another field, I will say description. DB type that I want is text, and HTML type that I want is text area. And I do not want to pass any validation for this field. And yeah, let's get it done. So I will say exit, and by typing exit, it will give me the list of all generated files. So you see this migration file is generated, model is generated, category repository is generated, API request, create category API request, update category API request, category API controller, category API routes are added, create category request, update category controller, this views and everything. And now it is asking me if you want to uh, okay, I think I already generated category, so I will say like yes, override this file. And now it is asking me if I want to migrate the database, and I will say yes. Now my database is migrated, and it is doing generator auto load. So if we go here and we go to the database, we have categories table which is created. If you go to structure, it has a name with varchar of 100 that we have specified. It has a description, created it, updated it, and deleted it. So database looks pretty good. Now let's go to the code and see what's actually really generated. So let's start from the list over here. Let's see the migration first. So I will go to create categories table. So this is how the migration look like. The name of the file is perfect, string and comma 10, right? So this is how it works. If I want to specify something like this, say like nullable, right, then also I can do that by specifying colon in between. So it is fully compatible with that as well. So our migration looks correct. The very next file is model. So let's see the model. In models directory, category model is generated, dates are specified, fillables are there, cast is there, rules are there. So all the rules are generated. If we go to the request, 4 requests are generated. First is create category, update category. Why we create these two files are sometimes like say category name is unique, so you need to modify this rule over here, and you need to attach the ID of the category that you are updating from the request, right? So that's the reason we create these two category files. So these files looks good. Then the very next is, let's see the controller. So if we go to the category API controller, it uses repository. We will cover the repository in the detail later on, but it has a repository which has a base repository that was published, and it has all the base functions like retrieve all records, create record, find record, update record, delete record. So that functions will be used by category API, and it is returning a JSON response. So we have a base controller, app-based controller that we have published, which contains three functions: send success, send response, and send error. So it utilizes that, and we are returning a JSON response for the APIs, right? You can modify this all the code. It is in base controller, so it is all up to in your control. right? Now it has a store method, it has a show method, it has update method where we are taking all inputs, then finding the record. If record is not found, then we are sending error, otherwise we are updating it. So all this code is generated automatically. And the same for category controller as well. So it returns categories.index, create method returns a view, store method stores the category into database, then it uses the flash, Laraka's flash package, show method, edit method, everything is there. So bunch of code, like almost if we see 157 lines over here, 132 lines over here, along with all the views that we have. So say like in category repository, it is very small. In resources, if we go views, we have categories folder where these all files are there for create, edit, fields, index, show fields, and table, right? And layouts are already pre-created, that when we did a publish layout, so sidebar is there, menu is there where we added categories menu. So this all code is generated automatically. Now let's see it in action. So now if I go here and if I do a refresh, you will see that this category menu has been added, right? And if I click on categories, it will give me this view like the CRUD. Right now there is no data in database, so I can click add new. It will open up a form. I will say like the electronics, and this is electronics category. I will hit save and it will be saved. I can add one more, say like books, and we will not, let's try to save it without, so say the name is required, right? Now we will hit save. So it will say the name field is required. So all validations are also working without any single line of writing a code. So I will say like books, I will hit save. Sorry, it is not null, so we need to give it nullable, sorry. So yeah, but let's try something over here. Books, we'll need to keep the filter nullable, I think, into the migration. Yeah, over here. Okay, let's move on, no problem. Now if I want to see it, I can click view, I can see all the detail, I can go back, I can go to edit, I can say like new books, and I hit save. It will be updated. If I want to delete it, then I can hit delete, it will be deleted. So this full CRUD is also working. Let's add it again. Book, just to try out our APIs as well. Say like TVs. So we'll add TVs. So yeah, this CRUD is fully working. But as you remember, we have also created APIs as well. So if I go to our api.php in routes, right, we have this resource over here for categories. And now if you go to the if I route list, oh sorry, I think we need to specify thing. 1 second, that's why I'm 100% sure something will be there. Let's see. Okay, somehow double namespaces has been included. I don't know from where. What did I do it wrong? Let's try out the APIs. So I go here and I say API/categories, and the same error has been thrown. Okay, let's try simply something like this. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, because we already specified the namespace over here, route service provider. So we already given the namespace. So that's good. But yeah, now the APIs are also there. And now if you see, we have specified the API, so all API routes are also there. So you can call all these API routes, API slash categories, to create some category, bunch of things, right? So yeah, so this is how you can create a CRUD and APIs both in minutes. As you can see, I haven't touched or I haven't written any single line of code, but still the full CRUD is working. So yeah, let's move to the next thing and just list down some advanced feature. So you can save the schema files. If you remember, it was asking us to override the schema file. So the usage of schema file is, if you see here, the one file is created called category.json, right? And the purpose of that is that so say you are creating some module, you have specified say like 15 fields, right? And now what happened, you just realized there was a typo in some field, so you cannot go and edit all the files. So what you can do, you can come here, you can hit a rollback command, InfyOm rollback, and then specify what you generated, and then like just correct a field name over here, and then you can specify dash dash file from or fields from, and then you can just specify field name and it will generate the whole group. Okay, right? So that is the use of schema file. Prefix support and paginate records, you can of course do paginations. Then you can also generate CRUDs from the database as well. You can publish layouts and auth files, roll back. Of course, as I said, if you generated something wrong, then you can roll back all the files. Data table support, it also has the data table support with using Yajra data tables. So if you are planning to use that, then it is also possible. The repository pattern, we will cover it in the next slide. Skip, limit, and search parameters are also supported in the APIs. You can publish templates and create your own theme. Ready to use boilerplates. If you are planning to use it in the fresh project, then you don't need to perform these all installation steps. You can use boilerplates and you'll be able to do that. Along with that, lots of other options are there, like soft delete, skip some file generation, or plural names, customizations. You can ignore some fields, and lots of things are there. So you can go into that. You can go over here, documentation. You can see these all advanced options. Even you can go here, generator options. These all options are available. Force migration, data tables from CLI, only generate specified views, test cases, swaggers, model, factory, seeder, everything is there. Lots of options are there that you can use. So yeah, that is all about, and if you have any questions, you can always get back to me about that. Now let's talk a little bit about repository pattern, because that's the question that I got a lot of time. So repository pattern is something like where you are writing your real logic into some different file. So say like when I go to category controller, and what I'm doing, if I go to store, right, what I'm doing, I'm getting all the data or all the input from request. Then rather than calling category create or new category and then fill, I am passing that data to the different input. So say like I'm passing this to repository, and now the repository is saving the real record. So the advantage of that is you can reduce the redundancy of code. Just imagine if you want to create category multiple times from multiple places in your code, right? Then you can call this repository function from the from various controllers or from various files, right? You don't need to everywhere write this thing, because if you are doing something later on, so say like when I create some category, I need to notify category manager that it is created, then you need to notify someone else, or you need to create some another record or something like that. Then you need to write those code at all of the places, right? Then your controllers will be of course thin, because your database or your database logic will be in repository, so it is reusable database logic. And you are ideally extracting business logic from your controllers, because as per the MVC, your controllers should be thin, the real the concept is thin controllers, fat models, or fat services, or fat repositories. Then it gives you the more testable code. Of course, if you are doing testing, then you can mock those up. And anytime in future, if you want to replace your services or your repositories, then you can just do it by writing a new repository class. So it is a loose coupling code. So that is what the advantage is that repository gives you. The rest, I think, if you see the code, you will get a very good idea of that, like what we are actually doing with repository pattern, and lots of examples are, I think, available. But this is the idea of repository pattern. So yeah, in closing, the advantages of using generator, it supports 6 to 8 all versions, which is maintained by Laravel right now. It saves you lots of time, especially when you are working with regular CRUDs and APIs. It auto generates painful Swagger docs. I literally, it is very painful, for at least for me, where I need to write Swagger documentation. You can also customize your templates and use your theme, and it is fully configurable. Whatever project structure you have, you can always configure it from the config file. You can also, if you have a database from some other framework, and if you are moving to Laravel, then you can generate a CRUD directly from database as well. So yeah, that is what I have to cover today, and thank you. So you can follow me on GitHub, as I said, or on Twitter. This is my Twitter handle, Mitul Golakiya. So you can follow me there. And yeah, if you have any question, you can always create issue in the GitHub repo, and here is the documentation which is located. So yeah, we are good, and now we'll be open to question answers.
Hey Mitul, thanks. That was really nice. Uh, I got to learn too much in this session. Thanks a lot. I hope everyone who has attended this session uh, uh, could have gained a lot more knowledge. Yeah, thanks a lot for this. And I had few questions, but the last closing slide gave gave me a lot more answers and even the repository patterns. Thanks for that. Yeah. So
Thank you.
that's helpful. And we have few questions. I will just highlight that as well. So one question is by Mahesh. He asked that any other design pattern used apart from repository pattern?
No, I will say like we use only two patterns. One is directly pure controllers, where the whole logic is in controller, where repository file will not be generated at all. And apart from that, the repository pattern is there. There is one more pattern called the single action controller, but we haven't implemented yet. So I will say no, just one repository pattern design we have implemented.
Okay, great. Thanks. Then we have one more question from Siddharth Kumar. He asked, any drawbacks of using InfyOm generator image according to your experiences? Any drawbacks till now?
Uh, yeah, that is a very good question. I will say like whenever we found any drawback, we generally try to convert it to feature and try to overcome that drawback. But I will say if you are not creating a regular CRUD, you need a very complex table where you are highlighting some fills and something like that. Then you cannot use the generator fully. You can use it, but you can generate the files and everything. So the idea is like you don't waste your time in generating files and specifying fields and doing the silly things. So once you generate the files, now all the files are yours. It is not using any base classes from controller, from packages which you cannot customize or something like that. It is all yours, so you can do whatever with it what you want. Because that is the drawback that I have seen in other packages, where the controller, my base controller, which my controller is using, is in package file. So I cannot customize that. So that was the idea. It also gives some limitations as well, where you cannot add some features or something like that. But yeah, the only drawback that I see is if the generator is not meeting your requirements as per the normal CRUD, then you don't go for it. And that is what we also do in some projects, like we don't go for it. I hope I answer your question.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I have one more question. This might be a dumb one, but I I might have missed the starting of the session. But is there a UI where people can actually generate, like, add? There is a form where we can enter that. Okay, I want a category CRUD, then press enter, submit the form, and it generates it for us. Or I
Yeah,
because I saw the CLI.
yeah. There is one package that we have, but we are not actively maintaining it right now because of the law of, CLI. We have a package called Generator Builder, where you can literally give a visual representation, actually. This one. So this is something, or I can see somewhere in the documentation. So this is a visual representation, where it will give you the UI, actually, this GUI interface. So it will give you the UI where you can specify the field names, and then it will generate the CRUD based on that.
Yeah, this is what I was looking for. Thanks a lot. Yeah. But if someone gives a pull request, you will maintain, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So then everyone
If that
here,
pull request is working.
obviously, obviously. So
Right.
yeah. Thanks a lot. This was helpful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh, okay. Fine. I have, folks. I have posted a feedback form in the comment section. Please do provide feedback for speaker and us so we can improve our sessions, future sessions. We do this monthly. So yeah, we'll see more new topics. Also suggest us the new topics. Which topics do you want us to speak on? Stuff like that. Yeah, do provide your feedback. That's important actually. Thanks, Mitul.
Yeah, thanks,
Let's
Jigar. Thank you, guys, for giving
yeah,
this wonderful opportunity.
thank you for sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.